Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Teresa Laba, and today I'll be talking to you about detaching yourself or separating yourself from the past or from unhealthy relationship. I can just hear somebody saying, "Oh, Teresa, you don't understand. You don't know what you're talking about. This I can't get out of it." I disagree with you. There's no relationship you get into that you cannot get out of. You can get out of it. No matter what, you can get out of it. It doesn't matter how you've been into it. You can be free. You can be set free. It might take time. It might take a while. Because to be fair, whatever you get entangled into, it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in few months, in weeks. Sometimes it might take years. Sometimes it's taking even decades to get in there. But you can always come out. And that's if you want to come out. You can always come out. So how do we start? Start with a scripture. The Bible says in the book of Galatians chapter 5 verse 1. I'm going to read from the NLT version. It says, "So Christ has truly set us free. Make sure you stay free and don't get tied up again in slavery to the law." Some other version will say, "Don't get tied up in yokes." So the Bible says Christ has set us free, has truly set us free. It's true that Christ has set us free. That was say, "Therefore, if any man is in Christ, the new creature, all things are passed away, all things have become new." Christ has set us free. But it is your responsibility to stay free. So once you give your life to Christ, you confess your sin to God, you're free from whatever it is. But it is your responsibility to stay free. I'll go back in a minute. So how do you detach yourself, or how do you disengage yourself from past relationship or from the past you don't want to be associated with anymore, or from unhealthy relationship? I think number one point is to identify the entanglement. You need to know that you are in a relationship that is unhealthy. You need to recognize that you have a past that is not healthy for you, that is preventing you from moving on, or is affecting your present that you want to detach from. So you need to recognize the problem first. That's why if you don't know you have a problem, it can't be solved. In the medical field, one of the things that helps us to diagnose or to treat patient is, if you diagnose a problem, 70% of it is solved, because you know how to treat it, you know what to go for, you know the antibiotics to go for, you know straight what to do. Let's say, for example, a patient comes to the hospital, they're having chest pain. If I meet the patient in an accident and emergency, I know what blood test to request from that. 1, 2, 3, that's what I request from. Because why? They come in, they can tell me that, I know what, I've got chest pain. I know what blood test to request for, or what blood to take from them. If they come to say, "You know what, I've got stomach pain," I know what blood to take from them, which is different from chest pain blood. If they come and say, "No, I'm not too sure. I'm not sure what is wrong. A bit of this, a bit of that," they themselves are not sure. Then it gives me a wider option. What I have to do, I take so many blood tests, I run different tests on them to see what exactly we can pin down to something. So identifying the problem is half of the problem solved, because I know this is what they're feeling. It could be this, it could be this, it could be chest pain, it could be chest infection, it could be cardiac, it could be indigestion, it could be acid reflux, it could be so many things. But I know it's all within the things that can cause you chest pain. So that's why it's very important to know that you have a past, or you have an unhealthy relationship, or you have something you want to detach from. If that's step number one, you failed in that, you don't know you have that, then obviously you cannot be helped. I can't help you because you don't know. So the step number one, I say, is identifying that you have a past or something you want to detach from. Step number two is also identifying the trigger that entangle you back to the past. So let's say you have a boyfriend you've been with for a very long time, and then you've tried to separate from the guy, or you separated from the guy, but each time you notice you end up being back in the bed with the guy. you end up going back and having sex with a guy every time, and each time you have the sex with a guy, you feel so worthless. Or it could be the other way around, you feel so useless. You promise yourself so many times, I'm not gonna do this anymore, I'm not gonna do this anymore, I'm not gonna do. But each time you find yourself going back to it. So you need to understand the trigger. What triggers it? What sent you back into the bed with that guy? It could be a phone call. That when you feel low, when you feel down, the only one you feel can comfort you is this guy. And call him, are you okay? I just feel low, I just want to hear your voice. And then, well, meet me here. It could be your way going home, or going to, you always have to pass through his place, or a route where you meet him, or you have to pass through his workplace, and you keep going through that route. And anytime you pass through, he also know what time you normally pass through. Stand at the door for you, waiting for you, then engage in a conversation. You end up going back in the bed. It could be, it will send you a text message. It's always a text message that triggers it. Or you should know your trigger. When you know your trigger, that this is what I do, and they hand me back in the bed with this person, then 30% of your problem is able to be solved. If it's pornography, you watch pornography, and you know what, you've watched pornography, you don't want to do it anymore. You should know your trigger. What leads you to pornography? Is it when you are home alone and you're bored? Is that when you end up going on the website? Is it when you've just had a rough day, you're tired? Is it when you end up there? Then you go on the website to start doing all sorts of things. So you should know your trigger. So secondly, once you identify your trigger, then another 30% of your problem is solved, because then you can know how to come out of it. Point number 3, I will tell you, is to have an accountability partner. When I mean accountability partner, I don't mean an opposite. It doesn't have to be an opposite sex. It doesn't have to be a partner, like a sexual relationship partner. What I'm trying to say is to have somebody you're able to account to, somebody you trust, somebody you believe in, somebody you can tell your problem to and say, this is my problem, this is my trigger. Someone that can check up on you when the person realizes, no, you are home alone. Oh my goodness, you've had a rough day at work, or you've had a rough day in school, and you're home. Someone that can check on you. What are you up to? Come to my place. The person that you're likely to fall into that temptation. You should have a partner. I remember when I broke up from my previous relationship, I have a friend, a very close friend to me. Her name is Philomena. I can never forget it. There's some people God just sent to your life. They're friends, and they're friends for life. And I remember my first book I dedicated it to her, because she was just God sent. She helped me a lot. When I broke up from the relationship, she was even the one that told me that, your ex is going out with my friend, with her friend, and that even make it worse. But she knew my trigger. She knew like, after a long day at work, because of the nature of my work, I used to start work at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I finish at 8 at night time. So she knows it's been a rough day for me. I end up in bed, and I don't eat. I'm tired. I just go to sleep. I just cry myself to sleep. She knows my rota. She always asks me, what's your rota? Let me see. She asks for it so she can check it. She knows my day off. I'm at home. I probably won't get out of the bed. I'll probably cry all day. I probably won't eat. So she knows my day off. So what she does, she plans something for my day off. So when she likes my day off, she looks at her rota and says, Therese, what do you think this evening? Should we go out to movie? Should we go out to do this? Should we go out to do that? So on my day off, it's never a day off for me. She's always putting something there, because those are my triggers, and she knows those are my triggers. For me to recover, those are the things that stopped me from recovering, because I was just hurting. It was just too painful. I couldn't see my way out at the time. It was too hurting. In fact, it was so bad that I was losing weight. I just lost the will for life when I think about it. Even though people will see me on the outside and think everything was okay, that I was alright, because I'm so used to putting on a brave face. I don't like crying in public. I don't like people seeing my tears. So I'm so used to putting on a brave face that people will see me outside and think everything is okay, but deep inside I was dying inside. But this girl, she understands me in and out. She knows that no, Therese is not okay. So she is like an accountability partner for me. She will ask me, call me, say, have you eaten today? What did you have for us? I say, yeah, I've eaten. It's a lie. I've only just had a drink. I might say, yeah, I had breakfast. What do you have? A glass of milk? I say, and what? I say, just a cup of tea. And, oh yeah, I added sugar to your milk. So, and what else? Oh, you need to go and eat. Oh, what have you had for lunch? I'm okay for now. What's the time? It's 4 o'clock. You haven't had lunch. Oh no, I think you should get up. Go and get something. Go and get something. Well, you know what? Tonight I've actually cooked. I'm coming to your house. I'll bring the food. We eat together. So she's more like a watch, like an accountability partner for me. So she understands my triggers. She was someone that I trust. She knows what I was going through, and she was there to help me, to support me. So it's very important you have such a person over you. Don't feel shy. That you know what, this is it. Don't feel shy. I remember one day one of my friend called me, and then she told me, she said, Therese, you know what, she used to watch pornography, and then you know what, I don't want to do it anymore, but I'm just telling you. And I was like, oh, thank you for trusting me and for telling me that this is what you do. Okay, how do we work about it? What, when do you watch pornography? What time of the day? What triggers it? Then we look at it together. And by the grace of God, with prayer, it stopped. So it's very important to have an accountability partner, someone you can trust, someone you believe in, not someone who go around and be telling people that, oh, this is what you do, this is what you do. So it's very important in order to discharge yourself. The other thing is also be patient. Give yourself time. Like I said earlier on, you know what? To get entangled into something, it takes a while. It's something that doesn't just happen overnight. Say a night doesn't make you entangled. 2 days, it might take weeks. It might take months, it might take years, it might take decades. And one thing, you know, the longer it takes for you to get entangled, it might take longer to detangle. Because when you get entangled, the longer it takes, the more you put in, the more you've given in. And my heart goes after you. I know what it's like to be entangled, to be engrossed into something, and you find it hard to come out, because I've been there before. You find it like, you know, I can't find my way out, or you just think, you know, this thing, you know what, I'll just settle down for it. You know, I just give up. I can't come out again. I've tried coming out so many times. But you can come out. You can come out of it. No matter what the past looks like, no matter what the entanglement is, no matter what the pain and the ache is, I say, you know what, I'm just going to wallow in it. I feel this is my portion. It's not your portion. Christ has set you free. You have to be determined to be free. And finally, that I will tell you, is to be strong and be able to say no. So like I said, like Bible said, the scripture we just read in Galatians 5:1, say Christ has set you free. Say now, now, now. Make sure. So even though I've set you free, it's now a response. It's just like you've pulled someone out of a hole. Someone has fallen in a hole, and you've helped them, you've assisted them, you've pulled them out. Now it's their responsibility to make sure they now know they're out of that hole. They know what they suffered in that hole. They know what they went through while they were in that hole. It's now their responsibility to make sure they don't go back to fall down in that hole again. They don't go around the hole again. And that, you need strength for it. You need to be strong to make sure that thing that drive it down there, you don't go around it again. So that's why when the scripture say Christ has set you free from your past, they say now. It's not talking about, but now, from now that he has set you free. They say make sure you stay and don't get tied up again. So Christ has done his bit. Don't say, oh, they left me and this and that. Christ has done his bit. You also have a responsibility. It's pulled you out. So it's your responsibility to stay out. Don't go close to it. Do everything as much as possible. If you have to say no, say no. Strive yourself, because you know, going back into the pit, it will be costly. It will be so costly for you. And in addition to all these points I've given you, you all had prayer to it as well. But you need to be strong. You need to be determined. You know, when you are determined in your mind, there's nothing the mind imagine that you can't do. When you're the mind is so powerful that it affects your whole body. So for example, I mean, God forbid, but being my profession and being this in the medical field. So now when I have a patient, or I see a patient who has been diagnosed with, let's say a condition, for example, you see, once they realize this condition is a terminal condition they've been diagnosed with, as soon as they are diagnosed with it, you see, they just lost the will. Their mind, they just give up straight in their mind, and it shows straight on their body. I could say sometimes patients have come into the hospital, oh, I'm in pain, oh, my tummy aches, and this and that. And we've run all the tests, and I say, you know what? We've run all these parents. I'm talking about people coming crying that, oh, ouch, this and that. We've done all the tests. There's nothing wrong with you. I mean, you just go home. Maybe you just have a bit of gastroenteritis. Just go home. And then the person is, as soon as you told them there's nothing wrong with you, you can see the cheerfulness on their face. And they're going home like, oh yes, I'm excited. And I thought, so what's changed from the time they come in? Just word to me to be able to tell you that, you know what, there's nothing wrong with you, you're okay. Maybe the person is coming and expecting a diagnosis, so they're in tears, they're crying, and they're crying. It might not even be related to the pain, might be psychological tears that, oh, I'm not sure about the diagnosis I'm gonna get going to the hospital. But come in and someone telling them, you're okay. We can't find anything. We've done the test, we've done the scan. You're okay. Just go and rest. It might just be a random tummy ache. And they go home skipping and say, wow, there's power in the mind. This is just because of what the person has heard. That's just changed the whole thing. And someone might also come in strong and so energetic and coming in that, oh yes, I've come. And then unfortunately they might have a bad diagnosis. And as soon as they're told, you see someone who's coming with strength, who's coming with energy, who's come skipping in. Wait, just to hear that bad news, the way the mind controls their whole body, the person feels sick straight. They was like, oh, I feel sick. Oh, I feel like throwing up. Oh, I just feel so weak and things. Just because of the word, the power of the mind. So in addition to prayer, one thing you should also realize, your mind is so powerful. Your mind is so strong. Your mind can determine so many things. If you put your mind to do it, in addition to prayer, you will do it. So if you're determined that this smoking, I'm going to stop, you will stop. If you're determined that this drinking, I'm going to stop, you won't stop. If you're determined, I'm not going to be sleeping randomly with those guys anymore, you will stop. So you need to be strong in your mind. Your mind is so powerful and it carries so much strength. So it's very important that you engage your mind as well. Fight it at all points. Fight that, that thing is bad for you. It's not good for you. It's hurting, it's stopping you from growing, it's stopping you from achieving what you need to achieve in future. You need to fight with all your mind, with all your strength. At this time, I'm not going back to it. I'm not going to do it anymore. Anything. I remember when I broke up from one of my relationship, when I broke up from one previous relationship, it hurt so badly. It's like, I just want to get out of this pain. I just want to get out of this hurt. I just want to be free. I just want to be healed. I was so desperate. I just want to be, I don't like this feeling of staying, of crying every time. I just want to be healed. When I got to work, I told my boss at work, one of my seniors at work, I told her, I said, I've just broken up and it hurts. And I tell her, I talk to her, and every time she's like, Therese, I can see it hurts. And I say, yes, it hurts. Every time she will encourage me because, I just want to get out of this. I don't like that feeling of being down. I want to get out of this. I keep talking to her. And with no time, I was able to release it with prayer and other help and other support. I was able to release it. So it's very important. Be strong up there. Here, be strong. Be determined. Be able to say, no, I won't do it. Take accountability for yourself. Take responsibility for your life. Take responsibility for your future. The past is done. You can't do anything about the past anymore. But the Bible says now, where you are right now, as I'm talking to you, as you're hearing me, where you're standing, from now, from this moment where you hear my message, that I'm talking to you now, that's what God is saying. From now, from where you're standing, from where you're sitting, from on the bus where you're watching me, from now, this present time, from here, where now that you heard it, is it from now, not from the past? So forget about the past. It's gone. It's gone. Is it from now? Take responsibility for your life. Tell yourself, no, I will not do it again. I will not go back again. And add prayer to it. And God will help you. So thank you very much once again for your time. Like I said, please subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumb up. If you've learned something, just say it. Put it on the chat as well. Someone will learn from it. Share it around. Subscribe. Send it to people. I'm aiming to reach 2,000 subscribers by December this year, 2022. So please help me reach 2,000 subscribers. I know I've only got a few weeks left, about 6-7 weeks left to end of the year. So please subscribe to my channel, and I pray God will help. So thank you very much once again for your time. This is Therese Alaba talking to you. Please watch my videos, and then till next week speak. God bless you. Bye for now. Bye.